Well, it looks like we got ourselves a series, boys. So 30K coming in with a very clean game the first time around. Almost a very clean game the second time around, too. Except for the spicy. Abathur pick coming in to just hard carry his team to victory by just solo pushing, laying down, just running it down on Abathur, and setting up that win condition. So, again, blue team was in complete command of the entire game. I would say they're the better team in terms of mechanics, in terms of hero picks, in terms of just outright understanding the game. Unfortunately for them, they did not know how to use the objective to their advantage. And so, if that's the case, honestly, just ignore the objective. That's something I say a lot on that map, where you can just ignore the objective and just deal with it afterwards. Red team understood that. Blue team did not know what to do with it, so they just kind of hard lost. Let's see what map comes in next, because it's still anybody's game. Like, neither team is playing poorly; they're just not playing optimally, if that makes sense. Neither team is making huge mistakes. They're just not being as aggressive as they should be when they have an advantage. So very good on red team for figuring out that they can just push for the win there. You would never see that in solo queue. So it is higher level play. Make no mistake, these are very good players. It's just that the team coordination is not necessarily there yet. The synergy is not necessarily there right now. I'm not sure which team actually picked this map, but one of these teams considers it to be in their advantage. Now, on this map, Tracer is actually halfway decent. So I would expect that to actually get picked or banned here. Just because Simplicity were the ones picking it. They might be the ones taking Tracer, so I would not expect them to ban it. They probably want it. And they might ban Cassia as well on top of Brightwing. Brightwing is good here. Anduin's okay. I actually prefer Stukov in a situation like this. Let's see, Garrosh is kind of good in the 4-man. Top laning, Artanis. Actually, yeah, if red team is picking first, they might just pick an Artanis, which means they would want to get rid of something like a Garrosh so that blue team can take it. But then again, blue team, they would have to rely on blue team banning D.Va out, and they might value the D.Va over something like, actually, yeah, Gazlo. I forgot Gazlo got buffed. Gazlo's a lot better than Artanis here. That's a good ban coming in, which means they probably want to first pick either Tracer or Artanis, if I had to guess, if they're banning Gazlo out. Blue team left D.Va up, which means they're not afraid of it. I don't think red team should take it, honestly. Okay, Cassia coming in. They're going to want that Cassia. It looks like they might just go Cassia Tracer again. Personally, I would value Artanis over Cassia on a map like this. Artanis is nasty on this map. So I'm hoping your Rel does not come in again, because that's actually a bit of a power drop relative to other bruisers you can take. But it is his signature hero. Red team is not afraid of it, even though they've gotten curb stomped in every single team fight by Urel. So that's bold of red team to just leave that up. And Li Ming is really good here. Honestly, I would have banned Li Ming over Brightwing if it were me. Brightwing's actually really hard to play on this map just because you're so spread out. Okay, so red team taking the Joanna away. Joanna, I don't think has lost the game in the games I've watched today. Very strong hero if your opponents don't understand how to play around it. Or wait, no, she was on the enemy team, right? And she just lost the game. What am I saying? But basically, you just don't attack her while she has her shield up, and it's not that difficult to play against. So yeah, there's the Tracer man. Again, I would have expected a Tracer to come in from the red side based on a map like this, and because they just like playing it. They do not have a top laner yet. Goldan might be okay to pick on the red side. The Owl ban is a very good ban coming in, which means we might see a Blaze or a Garrosh on the left side. Now, Guinness is generally not very good here, so I would not expect that. Tyrio's okay, but it doesn't combo with their team very well, so probably a Garrosh, honestly. It combos well with the Euro. But with that being said, Blaze is better in lane. Garrosh is better in team fights a lot of times. Sorry, opposite. There's the Stukov. There's the Imperius. Oh, that's actually interesting. They have double top laners. So I would assume Urel's top lane, just because like Vespertine is basically god on it. So I assume he would just hard win top lane if they put them there. But if you're bringing the Imperius in, I might expect a Blaze over a Garrosh. It really depends what red team picks here. So a Golden again might be okay. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Okay, so no Blaze on the left side. They took Blaze on the right side, which means Garrosh is actually not that good anymore. Garrosh has a lot of CC to deal with, and even with Unstoppable, he would have an issue. So honestly, Ganis is actually okay now because they have three frontliners, and if you can sweep even two of them during team fights, like that would actually come in kind of big right now. Ooh, okay. They're going Imperious Tank. Now, this is something, this is bold. This is very bold. This is something I do in my solo queue game sometimes. I always get flamed for it. Imperious can actually be a tank. He has stupid healing. He's better than something like Stitches. He's better than, like, honestly, I think it's better than a Mal'Ganis or even a Garrosh here. So that is bold of them to do, but I do agree with their decision making. Otherwise, they have very low damage. If they go double Bruiser tank and then Li Ming has to be the only person burning the Immortal down, it would not work out well. It's not an ideal team comp, but it can work. Problem is, generally with Imperius, you generally want CC chains so that you can just kill whoever you want. Instead, Imperius can't really focus on peeling for people. He's got to focus on just outright tanking. So Gavrel's gonna have to peel for the backline. Otherwise, um, this this might just be in red team's favor, just based on hero picks.
Bahamut, we will check in again with you after the game. But for now, it is time to get started with our final game of the day.
They can't decide if they want to send Blaze top or not, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, they're swapping it out, maybe?
And we will find out shortly.
Okay, they decided Blaze is going top lane.
I've got my own theory about Lutano on Thrall, Grubby.
Okay.
Looks like they're sending 2 or 3 people top. They might be going for the spicy top lane gank. I'm not sure. Looks like they haven't decided either. Imperius is going to, in fact, go bot lane. Nobody's going to try a top lane gank. And the game is paused. We got ourselves a pause game, boys.
Okay. Yeah, pretty sure.
We have we have a small technical issue. We might have to restart the game. It's gonna be the same draft, same hero.
So again, just with the teams coming in, double tank is generally kind of bad on the Battlefield of Eternity, unless you win every single team fight. So if you ever lose a team fight, you cannot burn the Immortal down. You cannot defend against it easily. So you have to always defend your Immortal, essentially. Because you never burn it down faster than the enemy team does. But with that being said, since you have double tank, you can just sit on it for a very long time. And you out CC the enemy team, which means if your damage line understands how to position, they should just never die. And eventually, you'll kill the entire enemy team. That's red team's game plan right now. Will it work out? We're gonna find out once this game gets unpaused. And the Hanzo might actually have some trouble dealing with double tank because they can very easily block for their teammates. So Hanzo also doesn't have the best of abilities to burn the Immortal down. Li Ming does though. They do have a Li Ming. So in terms of Immortal burn, blue team has the advantage. In terms of team fights, red team probably has the advantage. Which means red team should be team fighting, blue team should be trying to burn it down. I assume that's the way this game's gonna go.
Okay. I feel like level 1, it'd be too one-sided for certain classes. I have to rejoin.
No, I think it was just me.
There we go.
But thank you.
I'm gonna see what these people are saying because I don't have my sound on.
I kind of just quickly shouted at 30K. I personally think that their race potential and their CC setup is massive. Like, you have.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the game's paused, but probably a talent or something that's not working properly is usually why these games get paused. I wish I had more information. I do not.
What the big CC setup is going to be and what it will end up looking like in our post 10 phase when it comes to these drafts. And that's why I'm thinking post 10 and then onward. Even before that, I think 30K has a stronger draft. But hey, I could be completely wrong on that.
We'll see. It's a bit different than you would normally see.
So in terms of Urel versus Blaze, I actually think Blaze probably has the advantage in that matchup just because he can push the lane down faster. Urel has better sustain a lot of times because you can push Blaze out of his self-healing. In terms of the 4-man bot lane matchup, what is there? Joanna, Cassia, something. I think probably the Li Ming team has the advantage bot lane. But at the same time, if Imperius misses his stuns, then bot lane blue side doesn't actually have a tank. So if Imperius does not hit any of his stuns, he might just end up dying, and it's going to be very bad for them.
My whole point circling back is just if they can.
That's the problem with that hero. He's super good until you miss your Q, and then he's kind of bad actually.
They have to outplay 30k, but as Grubby was making the joke, it's not easy to sidestep all this damage. So I'll leave it to all of you and enjoy the game.
Fair enough. Thanks again for your insight, Bahamut. We will be back with you later.
And we're back. Wonder if they remade this now.
Game of the day. Once again, it's 30k in the blue, Simplicity in the red.
It almost looks like they remade it just now.
Simplicity side with the Thrall. We will see how it ends up shaking out for them.
They did. That was pretty fast. So personally, I would put Thrall top lane to face the Urel. I think Thrall can actually beat Urel, but I guess they feel differently. So we're gonna see if red team can dodge. If they can, they should win this lane. If not, the Hanzo and Li Ming are gonna be quite a bit of a problem. Also, already a good amount of damage coming on the Imperius. He knows he has to get away from that one. He does not know who else is there. Hanzo so far doing peanut damage to Joanna. And Joanna taking a bunch of free damage. Not sure why. Drops the Unstoppable. That's going to be on cooldown for a solid 20 seconds. And blue team does have the advantage bot lane because they have range and red team does not really. They have a Cassia coming in. Thrall manages to dodge the stun. Manages to get out there, no problem. And so far, everybody's evenly matched. Urel just sitting in the bush since she already cleared her lane out. Does not have to move around. Thrall randomly winning top lane. I don't agree with this. I would be clearing the lane out if I were him. You're not going to get ganked right now. Going in for that kill on the Hanzo. They're taking way too many tower shots here. You should not be doing this early on in the game. You do not have the kills for that. Oh my god, that is such a massive mistake coming on red side. This is a high level game and they will get punished for this. Blue team is going to take bot camp instantly, presumably. And orange team positioning like they want to deal with this. What you should be doing as orange team is just clearing the lane out. So that way, when this camp is pushing, the enemy team does not have minions. Instead, we got a stun coming in on the Cassia, trying to hold us off for some strange reason. You're not going to get that camp. There's a 3v4 red team already falling apart. And the thing about this map is that the Immortal does hit buildings. All right, the Protector was controlled by humans and never hit buildings until the very end. Immortal hits buildings by itself, so if you make mistakes like this, you're going to lose the game. Because blue team will just get every single Immortal coming out on the Blaze who got stunned into towers. That is a nasty combo. Stunned into silence into towers. Got the beast stepping coming down actually. Wow, the disrespect coming in from the Stukov, I think. Oh my god. See, they were toying with their opponents the previous game. This game, they are taking it seriously. They're not messing around. I think red team is going to have a very hard time. I don't want to say they've already lost, but if they play like this, they're going to have a really hard time, even getting a single Immortal down. Imperius is still waiting for this gank, but the entire enemy team is already a level up, and by enemy I mean blue team. And even though red team has been on this camp a lot quicker than blue team has, blue team gets it at about the same time. And blue team's push will actually probably be better because they can go clear top lane out before this Immortal even spawns, or they can just deal damage to the Immortal. Whereas blue team's is going to be pushing so late to where red team does not have time to deal with it. They just need to start a fight right now while they have Urel top lane, and they know that they're going in on it. They cannot quite catch the Li Ming, just barely gets out. which gives us some time to burn us and rotate in bot lane. We have Thrall try to go on the backside. Maybe he's learned from the previous time. Do not fight under towers right now. They should just be clearing this camp out because now Urel's going to come in on the backside. The Unstoppable is going to come down soon and goes on Joanna, tries to stun the Thrall. That's a dead Thrall boy. The Blaze not going in, not trying to save his boy because he knows he has to just clear that lane out. Red team had plenty of time to clear it out. They chose not to go for it, barely got any damage down. This will be the first Immortal coming in for the blue team. I know it's not even halftime yet, but I guarantee you blue team gets this. Red team also realizes this. They've already sent two people top. They already gave up. And honestly, that is a giant mistake because now it's going to have even bigger shields than before. And like I said, blue team burns this down a lot faster. And this is why you don't need a tank if you have Imperius. Imperius, like if you get your stuns off, it's so much more useful than having a tank. I mean, technically, say Stitches is a tank, but in most situations, Imperius is better. Imperius is kind of a broken hero if you can hit your stuns. They really want to try to gank this. They are not going to be able to. Joanna is bot lane because they know she does not have a lot of damage. They do have the tanky boy trying to do his best, but that is not how you use the oil spell. You actually want to just sit on it and heal back up so that way the enemy team does damage to you and not your towers, which means this is going to be a fort going down. That is the Unstoppable coming in, and it's not going to quite be enough to kill this Blazy boy. But we have the Joanna coming in on the backside a little bit slow. Vespertine is already here. Joanna's going to try to keep this fort up. It looks like she's actually able to stop this. The Unstoppable coming in on the Cassia. She is going to be able to get away with this. That's probably a kill on the Vespertine. No, he manages to jump away. That is a fort going down. Blaze cannot stop this. And like I said, you should have burned the shield down, which would have actually allowed you to keep this fort up. And because this thing pushes by itself and it's not a protector controlled by heroes, Red Team has basically already lost this game. They are not going to win a single protector unless they manage to catch somebody out. They no longer win team fights. They're going to be 2 levels down. It's going to be level 10 or level 11 to level 9 when the next Immortal spawns. Blue team is not going to give up anything on the map, so unless they die forts and randomly die, I don't think Red team wins this game. This game's over. I'm calling the GG.
You're not going to get it. You got to clear the way first, otherwise you'll take free siege damage.
Unless blue team takes a 4v3 on the camp, they're being smart. They're not starting it. Red team, for some reason, does not want to take this. They had Vision top lane to at least know Urel is there. They don't know Hanzo back. They don't know where Hanzo is. They could have taken this fight had they wanted it. And the sad thing about it, it probably still would not have been in Red Team's favor just because they no longer have the damage to do this. It is level 9 to level 8. Probably going to end up level 11 to level 9. And then Blue Team can just do whatever they want, especially if they're taking camps like this. So Red Team actually kind of need that camp in order to get back on XP. And not for the camp itself. The camp's kind of weak. But the XP was actually kind of needed for them. They did not get it. Instead, Blue Team gets camps everywhere on the map. They're going to be able to push this fort down as well. Red Team is just not bringing in Thrall. Vespertine is coming on the backside. Blaze is way far away. And Blue is not taking chances this time. They know that they have a huge advantage here. Ooh, we were about to see the swords coming down, dealing a bunch of damage. Okay, like 2 damage to Blaze, not a bunch of damage. And it looks like Red Team actually does manage to keep this fort up, but because they've been here instead of soaking top lane, it is going to be a situation where they're not level 10 yet. They cannot start a fight yet. But Blue Team is actually going to go easy on them because they just used 2 ultimates. And they know that they should not be fighting right now. They can just burn this down and wait for ultimates to come off cooldown. 35 seconds on both Imperius and Hanzo. Red Team is going to hit level 10 off of this camp, and then they can start a fight, and they should start a fight because they are not going to burn this down quickly. They need to go defend theirs right now, which is exactly what they're doing. Meanwhile, the bot camp is going to take bot fort, but it does not matter. You might just have to give that fort down and just start a fight right now. While the enemy team has 2 ultimates down, you have the advantage. You need to punish them for this. The stun actually misses on Thrall. Is Thrall going to be able to get his ultimate off before he dies? He does manage to get the ultimate, and the Cassia stun kind of misses. It hits, but also it hits on the wall, so that's a little bit lucky. Coming on the Imperius, we got a slept Hanzo, which is actually kind of big. They managed to clear the bot camp out, and now the Blaze actually might have just gotten Decker King killed because Decker King went in for a little bit. We have 2 ultimates down on the... Well, we have all the ultimates down, actually. except for Yarel and Stukov.
Kind of embarrassing.
So that's a good push. They are going to give Botford because they realize this fight is more important than trying to keep Botford up. Yarel is going to finish that off. And as soon as she shows on the map, you got to take this fight. They were about to go and they chose not to do so. Thrall is now going to try to defend bot lane, which is already dead. So that's actually a mistake because they could have rotated around. And now blue team sees that Thrall shows up bot lane. They instantly push. This is what red team need to do. As soon as Thrall shows bot lane, you just go in on this. That's a missed Stukov arm. And this thing is going to go down. They know they just need to wait for Li Ming rotations on her cooldowns, and they just get this for free. They do not have to pressure this, but red team does. Red team has to go in. They realize that they charge down the Li Ming. They managed to get the ultimate down, but the Unstoppable comes in big. That's actually huge for them. They would have gotten that kill had the Unstoppable gone down. Now we have that silence on the Blaze. This Blaze is probably going to go down. He has no mana. They don't chase in on it. And we have the spicy ultimate coming in on the Thrall, who's might just end up being that. He went back for the potion, almost got him killed. The Cassia might be able to get out of this. Never mind, she's getting run down by the Li Ming. Oh, this might even be the game right now. Again, red team needed to start a fight. They have a double tank. The only way you win this game is if you start a fight, and they did not.
Yeah, that's a really big immortal, and I don't think they even have.
Yeah, this game's over. This thing's almost full health, and they have no wave clear.
Any damage at all.
They have
Crossfire.
they have a Deckard Kane, they have a Blaze, and they have a Joanna. So it's like you don't even do anything. This game is amazing. Levels of over. GG, well played. Blue team playing very well. Oh my god. Oh my god. So unlucky with those Cassia pulls. Every single one. They get stuck on a wall. Which at this point I might even assume was on purpose by the blue team. Because they've been doing that very well.
He's got commitment issues.
Pretty much. No
Are they
engagement.
going for core?
And red team knows they have to go in. They don't have enough damage to kill everybody, so they need to get blue team to back off. Otherwise, they might just end up losing the game. The Imperius is going very low, but he can just heal back up if he gets an auto attack off. That's a sleep going down in your rel, which is actually going to come in big. They managed to get the Imperius down, which means they can clear this out and they don't lose in the game. Now, if you're ever playing solo queue, you have to convince your teammates to start a fight beyond the Immortal, otherwise you lose the game in that situation. Red team realized that. Simplicity coming in big by getting that kill because it gives them some experience back, prevents them from losing the game, and now they have some level of a chance, but their problem is they actually get outscaled. So even if they catch up on XP, 30k has the advantage. With that being said, we've just demonstrated that Simplicity can get a kill. It's 6-1, but this game is now open. And I don't agree with what 30k is doing by not taking the camp. Right now, you should be pressuring the map super hard instead of just sitting around doing nothing, because you have the advantage. You had the advantage. Now you're giving it up by not taking that camp. It's not the worst of calls, because in not taking it, you kind of force your opponents to rotate it on to deal with it at the wrong time. But when you have the advantage, you want to just try to force as many unfavorable fights for the enemy team as you can. Otherwise, you actually give your opponents a chance to come back in the game. So they are going to be taking it now. Thing is, it would have died already had they taken it earlier, and they know that. That's why they didn't. But at the same time, it just gives red team time to just attack the Immortal right now. So, and they're choosing not to, actually. They are choosing to clear the camp out. Even though that camp is super weak and doesn't do anything, this is probably a mistake by red team, because it gives 30k a little bit of time to catch up on XP. Or not catch up on XP, but it gives them enough time to try to get level 16. They do have bot lane pushing, and they know that. They try to go in on the Deckard Kane, who's a little bit slow. The Imperius is still trying to find a fight, and they get the spicy fight. That this time, the Cassia ultimate does go off. They knew they had to start the fight. They just left bot lane to push. That is absolutely the right call. They do have the CC chain lock, and they should be able to get this Imperius kill. No, they decide to pull off on it because they're afraid they're going to lose the game off this camp. They send Blaze back to deal with that. Their problem is that Blaze actually is a lot of their damage. Thrall, in the meantime, realizes that Li Ming actually does more damage than they do. So he has to pull off on this. This is now a 3v2 bot lane. But the enemy team has more damage, more heals, more sustain, which means if the Imperius can actually land a stun, he might be able to stop this. Meanwhile, Thrall has completely kept Li Ming off of top lane, and they are actually going to be able to burn this Immortal down because they got those kills. Sent Blaze back instantly. He actually almost had his recall stopped, which would have been disastrous for Red Team. Thrall is absolutely going to go down here. See, 30k knows that they lose that fight, and Red Team knows that as soon as he goes down, you gotta try to punish this because the enemy team is a little bit out of position. That's the leaving. I don't think she can get out of it. Blinked into a sleep, but now she's not gonna die. The entire team is trying to burn her down off of the Blaze ultimate, but now the team goes down. Blaze is dead. I don't think Decker Cannon is anywhere to go. That's it. That's the GG. That's the wipe, baby. Are they going to try to push the game, or are they going to burn it down? It looks like they just want to end bot lane. Thrall does respawn soon. Vespertine is infamous for just jumping over walls and trying to end the game. They are changing their minds, actually. I'm not sure why. You could have just killed Thrall at the very least, but instead they want the Immortal to push it down. It's not a bad call. This is the call I would have made to just push this down. It's just strange that they ran it down bot just to pull off on it, because it gives the enemy team time to respawn, which means the enemy team now gets one more fight to try to win this. So again, if you're Simplicity and you want to win this game, what you need to do is start a fight beyond the Immortal. You see the assist coming in over here. That's, strictly speaking, where Red Team should be right now. I think Blue Team is making these pings. And see, yeah, 30k check that with a stun, because if you want to not lose the game right now, you should be ganking from exactly that bush. Joanna's trying to get the flank going. They need to not use abilities on this Immortal. I don't think they have the damage for it, but 30k is not pressuring this super hard. So actually, Red Team has the ability to just burn this down. They should not be allowed to do this, but 30k is being very generous right now. They get the stun off on the Blaze. It's probably not going to matter. Oh no! The silence coming in big, but we probably get the kill, counter kill back on Imperius. And the sleep almost comes in big, but the stun comes in at the same time. And actually now, with the 4v4 coming in, unless Thrall can go back to base and heal right now, the entire Simplicity team should be healing, otherwise they just lose the game. They have the advantage if they use the healing fountain. Instead, Thrall might just end up dying. This is a dead Thrall. And there's absolutely no way to kill both the Immortal and the enemy team now. 30k coming in big. Easy game, easy life. So again, I would say Red Team probably had the advantage in terms of team fights. They did not play to their strengths. They didn't take enough team fights. They're using abilities on the Immortal, and you cannot do that. Otherwise, you lose the game 100% of the time. So, yeah, 30k, looking super strong. I mean, they dropped the game, but even in the game they dropped, they basically played perfectly. So, outside that final fight, not perfectly, but they were in command the entire time until they threw the game. So right now, 30k looking kind of stacked in terms of teams. The calls are not on point some of the times. They seem to be a little split in terms of pushing bot lane or if they want to do the Immortal, but the Immortal is the safe call. Again, I would have made the same call just because it's a surefire win. But one thing I will say is that if they had to control the Immortal themselves, they would not have won because they would not have hit buildings. So, lesson of the day, hit buildings. I think that's it, right? That's the final game, which would mean stream is over, right?
He could be on a really deep flank, and he was. They were like,
pretty sure. I think that's done. So thanks for watching. I'm out. GG.
The interesting thing is yeah, the Sunderings just, I mean, that whole game, unfortunately.